Thank you for joining me today. I hope everybody's doing well. SimCity 5 video, part 3. We were back on the first island or city here. The one I'm not happy with, and as usual, road issues. If you look down in the center there's a high demand for commercial and industry. I think I mentioned in previous videos, I'm not a fan of industry because it's dirty, it ruins the ground, and the tendency for major explosions. People don't like living near it. It's difficult to work with. I know it needs to be there, but I just don't like the setup. Traffic was another issue. So I try shifting things around a little bit. I try to keep my I try to keep my people away from the industry. So I want them upwind. And that's at the top there where the coal industry is. Now the coal, I don't know the air is as bad a quality as ground pollution. But I learned a few things after all the years of playing this game. I actually learned a few things doing this. So I figured I would show you. Because if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't know if I should continue with the series. It doesn't seem like anybody's interested. And I just don't know if it's that exciting to watch. So I'm a little disappointed in that. But I kind of knew going in this probably wasn't going to be a very exciting thing for anybody to watch. But I will put this one up just to show you what I've done. And it actually ended up working. Now, in this shot, you might be able to notice that I have not hooked up that bottom road to the expressway. I do not like doing that at the entrance because the larger your city gets, the worse your traffic becomes. And then the expressway heading out in either direction, it gets backed up pretty bad. So I don't normally connect my roads to the entrance of an expressway. I really don't even like connecting them at all. So I try to have as few on and off, intersections as I can possibly make. Curving the road helps, but intersections, obviously, you do need some. So I work on that for a majority of this video, and I'm absolutely stunned to realize that I did something right. Now, the overpasses and ramps in this game, they do work, but they're not as neat as I would like them to be. And it could just be that I stink at doing it. Who knows? That's probably the case. So you see, I shifted the industry over to the right side there. A lot of people are using that train terminal. I always start out with the train terminal before going to buses. Once I get a second city going so that they can travel between the two via train as opposed to bus, because buses worked maybe once or twice for me. I got the big bus terminal. I put all the routes everywhere, and my traffic actually did clear up, but not all the time. And I'm afraid this is going to be one of those times where having a bus terminal is not going to work. But I did put a school bus route near that train terminal for the kids from the other city. They're sharing the schools, fire, police, and medic. Also, because my industry was built up, they started getting really sick. So I made the decision, a bad one, I'm sure, but I made the decision to put the huge hospital down here. So they have, I think, 2 clinics in a hospital. But we're making excellent money here. I was very surprised that it happened so soon. But we've got good population, and a lot of money to work with. Usually you have to wait quite a while for your money to build up in order to be able to add things. Because if you delete, say, you delete the water plant because it's no longer viable, you don't gain money from that. You lose money because you have to plunk a new one down and pay for it. But you don't get any money back from deleting buildings and facilities. I think you do in City Skylines. I think they give you the money back when you delete something, but they don't do that in this game. So here we are, unemployment crisis and bad traffic. So I concentrated on the traffic. I gave them their industry that they asked for, and I'm waiting. I put a few parks up in the top left there where I put the new neighborhood. If you add parks and sports facilities, your sim will upgrade faster. You have to give them land value. So I'm waiting for that top left corner to expand. I'm not going to add any more houses. So in the meantime, I'm looking at the traffic and it just is driving me nuts. But I knew this was going to happen. I think I mentioned it in the first 2 videos. I am no good at laying roads down. But I think it's kind of funny because when I'm playing The Sims 4, I complain that I'm not good at layouts. And now I'm doing the city building one, and I am no good at laying out a city either. I think I know what I want to do, and I think what I want to do is going to work. So there's my big hospital there, and I'm like, oh boy, I don't think I've ever put one of those down before. I did give them back their high school because I have to demolish it. Those high schools are not cheap. They're a couple $100,000. I had to get rid of it to make this overpass. So I didn't gain any money there, but I do have more than enough money to work with. So the trouble I had was snapping those girders in a way that they wouldn't disrupt the flow of the expressway. But I eventually got it. But it's still, no matter what I did, it's like, oh my gosh. All it really did was divert traffic. So if it was bogging up in one area, I would tweak it and then it would all bog down in another area. So I'm scampering all over this dumb city trying to figure this out. It was tough, but the ending, I was absolutely stunned that I actually did something that worked. Also, I'm wondering if I even need the coal plant here. It is what's giving us our money. I will tell you that much. When you have like a mining, oil, or coal, if you have those industries in your city, you're going to make a ton of money if you export it. So I don't want to get rid of it right away, but I noticed that every single city in this vicinity has some type of coal on it. A little bit, a medium amount, or a lot. So this city might end up not even needing the coal at some point. And that would be awesome because then I could just put all the houses and commercial at the top and all my industry at the bottom. Just go straight across the top of this because that's the direction the wind is blowing. It's going from top to bottom. And then I won't have to worry about where I'm going to put these people because right now they're bordering each side and the center is wide open because that's where all my coal is. But I might not need to mine coal here anymore, and that would be nice because if they have enough money and they start building up where I can expand the road and I can have them go to that 3rd level, the highest level where you start getting the mansions and the high rises, that might generate enough money on its own. I don't know. I've never gotten that far in a game to do that because I think I mentioned I've tried doing that. There were a couple times where I expanded those roads way too soon and then I kept getting a demand for higher class workers. I don't know how else to say that, higher educated workers. And there wasn't enough room to plunk down a university. And oh my goodness. But it was all trial and error for me. And I'm slowly but surely figuring out. So this is where the other area had bogged down, but they were leaving because of crime. And I didn't understand that because I thought I already had 8 on patrol. But again, if you have traffic jams like this where all that red is, your services can't get to where they need to be in a timely fashion. And that makes the citizens suffer. So you've got to fix your roads in order for those to work. So I just temporarily plunked down another little police hub at the top of the screen. And that, it helped a little bit. But not for traffic. The people are happy when they see you put a precinct in. But if the cop can't get there when somebody's being robbed or mugged or murdered, it doesn't matter. And then the value goes down. Lots of issues with this first city. And right here I'm tackling traffic. But I do not like all that industry at the bottom. And I don't like that massive circle in the center where all the coal is. So many things I need to do. So here's my second bridge out of this city. And I did not know how to do it. I suppose I could have moved the expressway as well. But I don't know. I was trying. Trial and error. So now there's a great big bog in front of the high school. So I thought, well, there's too many intersections on that part of the expressway. So I had one coming in and one going out eventually. And that kind of helped. But it's this bottom industry area here where I have the Port Authority in the corner here at the bottom right. And then my big hospital is on the other side of that curved road. And it just keeps bogging down there. So, I don't know. But it looks like I kind of cleared things up. I ended up taking that bottom road where the power plant and the sewage are. And I just hooked it up to the entrance of the expressway. And everything cleared up. But I will guarantee you, in time, that expressway is just going to get bogged down as well. But you'll notice my traffic is running rather smoothly. I was surprised. But who knows, maybe it was just a glitch. And when I come back into the game, it'll all be bad again. But seriously, I think I'm going to get rid of the coal industry here and build up. Maybe this could be the education hub. I don't know. But I don't like that massive hole there. But yeah, I actually did something that worked to fix the traffic issues. Everything's flowing nice and neatly. People are getting home from work on time. We still have a demand for educated workers, though. So the high school is back. There's an elementary on the right. And hopefully that will work itself out because I think 27,000 Sims in this tiny little city is more than enough. And once they're educated, then the commercial will want to upgrade. So now this is the second city that we bought in the last video. And this has coal and ore in it. So that's why I'm saying maybe that first city doesn't really even need coal. But I have to build up a huge amount of simoleons in that first city before I'll cancel. Or we're going to go broke real quick. So this one is such a boring city. But what surprised me, I didn't notice it right away, is I'm in the hole by a couple thousand simoleons. And I couldn't understand why. I was like, what? How is it possible to have 2 mining industries? Well over 1,000 Sims in the city. They're all built up to the second level, a majority of them anyway, and I'm in the hole. So there was an embezzlement issue. But I think the problem is not enough commercial The green is pretty high, but the blue in the center there is moving up. And I think commercial needs to, no, people need to catch up with commercial that's there. Commercial is expanding quicker than the people are. I thought that you would actually see people in these parks, but they're just kind of standing around. But I just take you down this one street just to see what it's like. I'm probably not doing this correctly. I think in City Skylines you can actually go into, there's a camera mode, first person or whatever. I doubt that there's one with this game, but you don't really need one. Because this is basically what you see, and I can only go so far and then everything gets fuzzy. But it's kind of cute. It just looks like a regular urban area. But I like that there's color to some of these buildings. I hate to get rid of the ones that are colorful. But there are some cities I have built that are so gritty. It's just so gross. So I put my emergency services right along the outside of the city here. I see everything's doing well except for that embezzlement there. But it wasn't that much. I think it was only 1,000 simoleons. I don't know who's embezzling. It's kind of weird. So I raised taxes and it went down. But I was still, I think, 41 simoleons in the hole. And it didn't make any sense to me at all why that would be the way. The other thing I do not like is there are so many more people walking. I might not have noticed it too much in the first city, but in this city, everyone is walking. Which might be a good thing because the other one had traffic problems. But it's a very boring, generic city. And it looks like there's only one more plot of land that I can buy. That one, no, there's two more. But see, this one has all three resources. Nope, just the two again. Coal and ore, okay. And then the one out there has more coal and ore. The problem I'm having with this plot, well, this world, is water. None of them have that much water to it. I chose the wrong world and it's kind of upsetting, but I guess we'll go there next. If I decide to keep doing this, I don't know. Maybe I will. But that was my plan, is to go from 1 to 2 to land 3. And then maybe if I get land 3 going, I can disconnect the coal from the first island. And we'll see what we can do with that city. I hope you're enjoying this. I really do. I'm so sorry if you're not. But thank you so much for joining me anyway and supporting my channel. I hope you have an absolutely fabulous day as well. Take care. Bye-bye.